Dominik Szoboszlai was absolutely unreal against Tottenham, showing everybody the quality we know he has, and he was just firing on all cylinders. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at his performance and talking about him because he was just so good. And the first thing I want to look at is his assist from McAllister, because I think when we talk about Szoboszlai and really critique his game, the worst thing is that he doesn't put himself in enough positions to get that goal or get that assist. Yes, he can get those pre-assists, but to be able to go to that next level, he certainly needs to be in more of these positions. And against Tottenham, he really did that. He really found some positions which were critical to getting that goal or getting that assist. And here he occupies both Gray and Spence, leaving Salah with space, leaving McAllister with space. And I'm sure a lot of you guys wouldn't have noticed this, but they're just so preoccupied with Szoboszlai, it allows McAllister to sneak into that position, and it allows Salah to feed off any scraps towards him. There's been many times this season where I see Szoboszlai taking up the safe position, standing at the edge of the box, and these things really limited his capacity to get those goals and assists. But against Spurs, like I said in that previous image, he was able to get himself in these high positions, and I feel like he was able to build a relationship more in the attacking third with Salah and McAllister, which is going to be really key for Liverpool, who are obviously wanting to score more goals, want to be able to put their opponent to the sword, and having that from midfield in more players like Dominik Szoboszlai is very important. Now let us look at the next image, and this is something again I really liked from Dominik Szoboszlai. I talked about his connection with Salah in this game in particular. Here it is at sort of display. This is the goal he scored right on half time at a crucial time, and again it's just his unreal awareness of what is around him and where Salah is. And again, this is possible because he's getting himself into those higher positions, he's in those forward areas, he's happy to put himself about. Okay, as a midfielder, you can sit down, you can sit deep, but at the end of the day, you're going to need to put yourself in these advanced positions, and Szoboszlai did that really well. Again, like in the first image, is Szoboszlai occupying those centre halves. He obviously dragged Dragusin in that position where he had to follow him, leaving the space for Salah. Like the first goal, he drags Spence and Dragusin over, leaving the space for McAllister, leaving the space for Salah again. And to be able to do this, it shows a lot of guts again and confidence to get in those forward areas. And I think it was a slight tweak from Arne Slot to get him in these zones, to be able to help him to press from the front. It just helped Liverpool have a lot more control in the game because they had more outlets up there, and we know that Szoboszlai has a fantastic engine, so this role really did suit him. But what impressed me the most from that header is the fact that he just didn't sit there and watch his pass. A lot of midfielders would, admire their pass, admire their action, but Szoboszlai had the engine, had the courage and the confidence to get beyond Salah. He knew, if I'm going to put myself in these positions, in these higher positions, Salah will find me, especially with the form that Mo Salah is in. Szoboszlai has that confidence to be able to be in these advanced zones. And he, we know how it went. He put a lovely goal into the bottom corner. But again, it's just that desire, that extra hunger, and this is how Szoboszlai is going to get a lot more goals and assists this season, by not just admiring what he does but also following it on. Look at Dragusin, who was with him on the header. He can get nowhere near him. I don't think there's any midfielder in the Premier League with as good of an engine as Szoboszlai, and when you have this as a midfielder, you can be absolutely unstoppable. So we've talked about occupying the centre halves, we've talked about him being in these advanced positions, but I think what was really good from Szoboszlai was his ability to receive the ball in pockets of spaces. I feel like this game against Tottenham Hotspur was the best I've seen in Szoboszlai to receive the ball in the pockets and distribute passes. He was really good. He was close to Salah, he was also linking with Luis Diaz, but he was confident to receive those hard passes from Van Dijk, those hard passes from Gravenberch. He was ready, and then he would be so confident to turn. Look at his body shape here, ready to play it into Salah. Most players maybe would think, okay, let me just hold on to the ball, but his his idea in this game was to be positive at every single action. And we know that Szoboszlai can be a fantastic presser, and his energy can almost be used so much on pressing. But when he's able to combine, his pressing, but also his, ability to then pick pockets of spaces, it makes him so good. I feel like that's what he needs to do more of, have the engine to pick up pockets, because the best players, the Ødegaards, De Bruynes, they really do find themselves in fantastic pockets of spaces to then find that pass or to find that shot and goal. So Szoboszlai doing this against Tottenham was really nice to see. Now here again, another example of that Szoboszlai and Salah link up. It was absolutely unreal. Great understanding of where Salah is, being in an advanced position again, almost in a secondary striker zone. And this is where he was able to get, the goal and those 2 assists. He was that sniffing out opportunities, and something which I will be honest about with Szoboszlai, sometimes he can be quite rash with his finishing actions. But here he showed great composure, as he did with his goal, as he did with his assist to McAllister. All actions which show composure. And like I've said, the best players in football, they have that composure in the critical moments. This was a really crucial goal to really, solidify Liverpool's position in the game, to really get Tottenham in a position where they're completely lost. And Szoboszlai, like top midfielders do, found that composure. Going for the spectacular pass can sometimes be something midfielders don't want to do in the fear of losing the ball. But I saw Szoboszlai here, something I really liked. The pass didn't get to where Nunes is, where the arrow is pointing, but it's the intent and the confidence to try and execute it. I feel like a player like Szoboszlai, when he's playing with that confidence, he can execute anything, and I like the fact he was receiving the ball out wide, showing that he can operate from wide zones as well as central zones. This is something midfielders need to have, the ability to be comfortable in many zones in the attacking third, because it's able to sort of confuse the defenders. Again, Dragusin can't get anywhere near him. He's trying to drop off, he's trying to follow the pass, he's trying to do everything, and Szoboszlai really did a fantastic job of confusing Spurs today.